to my channel. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm just beginning my YouTube journey. Only have about one video out or so. I do have another channel, but we'll get to that later. But I do appreciate those who have liked the videos and subscribed to my channel. So if you would please support the channel, hit the like button, the notification button, and definitely subscribe to my content as I travel. I've been to Colombia so far, and I do plan on visiting the Dominican Republic soon. With that said, shout out to all the travel OGs, that I've been watching your videos. Shout out to Sly. He was the one that really first got me going in regards to, thinking I could travel, so on and so forth. Definitely the most hilarious one is International Zoe. He always keep you on the edge of your seat, definitely. And, most recently I've been tuning into, Ron, Ronin Traveling, Big Ron the Don down in the Dominican Republic. So, special shout out to him. I just connected with him on a little bit more personal level. I would imagine, I'm using real estate to recover from my situation, like he did. And, his style is a whole lot like mine, slow, methodical, and smooth. So, shout out to Ronin and the Blue Brick Cartel. Definitely like all the comments and, just tuning in to all the different guys that's in the chat group. So appreciate all the love and support, and for hitting me up and letting me know that I'm on the right path. So shout out to my boy Ron the Don. No, that's just what I call him, but you can find him at Ronin Travel. So in the travel vlog that I dropped for Cartagena, Colombia, there was a lot of questions in regards to the social event that we went to, a few of the guys and myself. But first, man, shout out to everyone who watched the video, everybody who showed me love in regards to the content. I can't remember the guy's name, but he shot me some wisdom in regards to my footage and my videography, man. I wish I knew his name. I didn't write it down, but man, guys have just been showing me so much love, man. I really appreciate that, which, everybody always talk about how brothers can't get together, but I beg to differ because, man, these guys don't know me from nowhere. They just saw my video, they just saw what I was doing, and tons of them reached out, man. So shout out to all the brothers out there. But anyway, so we went to the social event, and a lot of guys have been hitting me up. They've been sliding in my DMs, asking me questions, hitting me up in the Blue Book Cartel in regards to the name of the social event and, how do we come about it, so on and so forth. So I wanted to make this quick little video and kind of walk you guys through how I ended up getting to that social event and, just the process around all of that and the reason why I went that route when I went to Colombia, especially as a first-time traveler. A lot of you guys are brave and got way big kahunas than I do in regards to traveling, right? So, you guys are just hopping on planes, man. You just dropping yourselves in foreign countries, so on and so forth, which is super cool, right? If you can do that, especially if you're like ex-military and you got a lot of experience overseas, I get that, right? But me, myself, having not been to the military and, just pretty much been in the matrix my whole life, I wanted to be a little bit more methodical around, how I get to the foreign country I was interested in traveling to. So just making sure I stay safe, so on and so forth. So I'm gonna get into all of that with this video right here. So before I tell you exactly about the website and everything, and don't worry, I'm gonna get to it. It won't take long. This is a short video. I want to tell you a funny story about foreign travel and where I first heard of the idea of meeting someone overseas and potentially building a relationship. So again, shout out to all the travel OGs because I was at work one day over 15 years ago, probably I was in I had to be like 26 or 27, and working in a major automotive company. And if you know anything about the automotive company, if you're working in the administrative areas, there's like one entire floor of just cubicles. I mean, your office is just a cubicle, probably about a maybe 6 by 6 foot square with a desk, printer, yada, 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 so on and so forth. And directly over the wall from me was a guy by the name of Phil. I'm not gonna tell you Phil's, whole last name and information and everything, but Phil was working at this place with me as well. And Phil had a little hobby. Phil liked to travel. Now this was back in 2006, I'm thinking. And mind you, the computer was just taking off, so people were still writing by letter, so on and so forth. And Phil was super cool. He was an older guy in his like late 40s. I'm just getting into the workforce. I'm 20, probably 26, so on and so forth. Just getting my career going. And I'm married at the time and everything, but Phil would talk to me during lunch about, oh yeah, man, I'm going to the Philippines. I met this really good girl, so on and so forth. I've dated, multiple women overseas, and Phil would show me this website, and it talked about mail order brides, right? That was a term that they had back in the day because, we didn't have the technology that we have today, right? Like I can hit up a girl on WhatsApp or a dating app and we could talk, FaceTime, yada, 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 but they didn't have that. You literally had to do everything by mail. So they called them mail order brides. And so, it was funny because, he was telling me like, different things about foreign women then and so on and so forth. Now I'm happily married at the time, but I came home and I was sharing with my wife this story, right? And she was like, what a loser. She called him a loser, right? But I was like, I beg to differ. I was like, why would you call him a loser just because, he's interested in dating a foreign person, And we kind of, had a little discussion about that. And the funny thing about it was I say, you know what? If you ever leave me, I'm going to order me a bride in the mail. Right? That was just a joke, right? And then it's so crazy because here we are about 15 or 20 years later, right? And, I'm a single guy. I'm in my early 40s. And while I'm not ordering one by mail, I am talking to, women overseas. But, that's the funny story around where I first got the idea, or where I was first introduced to the idea of, potentially having a relationship with someone overseas, right? And so that led me down, a trail of, hey, what is the system today, right? Back then it was, registering with some organization and, they would in turn, connect you through mail with someone, right? And, but today it's different, right? So I went down the journey to try to figure that out, and I did do that, and that's what I'm getting ready to show you guys right here, so stay tuned. Okay guys, so here we go. I first, I was browsing through some YouTube videos one day, just kind of shooting the breeze. I think I might have just finished watching a NBA Finals game or something, and for some reason or another, like I'm just searching it and to go to it right now, but for some reason or another, the algorithm dropped some videos about dating in my, in my video or in my YouTube, right? And so, I was like, wow, let me check this out. So I saw this beautiful lady like you're seeing here, and she's talking to this girl, and I'm like, wow, she's beautiful. And so as I started, digging into the information, it ran me to this website called, Medellin Dating, so on and so forth. But after a lot more research, the website is loveme.com, right? So you go to this website, and they have like all of these, potential women that's looking for dates and everything. And it's a really good website to kind of browse on. It talks about foreign women's profiles, so on and so forth. And at first I thought it was a hoax, I'm like, okay, this is just some gimmick, man. They gonna try to, get me for my money, this, that, and the other. And then I started watching a lot of the tutorials. I started watching a lot of the videos, a lot of the interviews. So I was saying to myself, man, let me just give this a try. Let me give this a shot, right? And so I called their office. They're based out of Phoenix, and Phoenix, Arizona. And I spoke to a guy, one of the, I think he might be the owner of this service. If he's not the owner, he's a pretty important guy in the organization. A guy by the name of John. And we started talking a little bit, and I talked to also one of the local reps, trying to fully understand what's going on here, right? And whenever you're getting ready to try anything new, guys, no matter what it is, even in the States, man, if you ever get into real estate, you'll understand this really quick. You got to do your due diligence. You know what I mean? You got to check out the property. You got to do research. You got to understand who owned it, so on and so forth. And so I've been so methodical about that with everything that I do, especially when I'm getting ready to purchase something, something significant, something huge, right? When there's a lot of risk. We're not talking about like a television from Walmart, right? But anyway, so I did my research. I did my due diligence. I'm like, okay, what's their address? I Googled their address. I was almost to the point to where I was thinking about flying out there, right? But I went to their Secretary of State website in Phoenix, see if it was a registered business. And, everything checked out. I mean, everything checked completely out. So I was still giving it some more thought. I say, you know what? You only live life once, so let's go ahead and do it. But the service is amazing. It's pretty much whatever you make of it in regards to how long you want to stay. They book, all the events for you. Your hotel room is covered into the price that you pay, which I'll talk about price here in a second. They're super amazing. So I got off the plane. It's really amazing service. You're gonna have purposefully they make sure you have a beautiful chica there standing. She's gonna have a name tag, and she'll have a placard with your name on it. First and last name. She'll be there waiting on you, because they probably realize that a lot of these guys have never left the States before. So there's going to be someone waiting on you. She's going to take care of you. She's going to get you out of the airport. She's going to get you to your taxi. And they're going to get you right to their agency office in the city that you are visiting, right? So everything is amazing. It's safe. It's definitely, top-notch service. So you're going to check in at the office. They're going to talk to you a little bit. They're going to ask, offer you water. If you're lucky, there might be some girls in the office registering at the same time. So it's like a social thing or whatever. You're getting to know the staff. They give you your itinerary for the week. So you spend some time there, and then, they get you back in the taxi and they get you to your hotel room, right? Where you're going to check in. And typically the hotel is going to be an American chain, whether it's going to be a Holiday Inn, whether it's going to be a Hampton Hilton, just everything you're accustomed to experience, right? Because the goal, in my eyes, what I saw was for you to be as comfortable and relaxed as possible, so that you can place all your energy and attention on the task at hand, which is vetting all of these girls and women that they're going to be putting in front of you. Literally, you are going to be in a room with over 100 women. And depending on the city you go to, like a Medellin, it's going to be more than that. And at times, I'm going to be honest with you, it was overwhelming in a good way, right? In a good way. So you got to be realistic about it, right? Because if you're in a room full of 120 women, every single one of them are not going to be interested in you, right? We're different as human beings. We like different things, so on and so forth. That's what makes us unique. But a good deal of 50% of them will be. So that's literally 60 women that has the potential of becoming your wife. And the thing about it is, it's like a needle in a haystack. I mean, you got to vet these girls. And unfortunately, around the table, you're only going to get so much time. It's a speed dating event. And, during, while they're putting on other presentations, while they're, taking like recesses and so on and so forth, a girl has to use the bathroom. I mean, you can ask her if you can escort her there. I mean, this is like the old day chivalry type stuff, right? And that'll give you some time to talk a little bit more and ask a little bit more questions. If you're fluent in Spanish, it's even better. But typically you're only gonna get about 5 or 6 minutes, if that, per table, not even girl, per table, right? So if there's like 5 girls at a table, I mean, you're only getting about a minute, 60 seconds worth of info from this girl. So it just goes back to the first thing, shout out to the OG Kevin Samuels. The first thing that's gonna attract you to that woman is her beauty and her femininity, right? So if you're vibing with that, then you're gonna, put her on your list so that you can talk to her later. So let me talk a little bit about that. My strategy was, at the time, I didn't speak a lot of Spanish. I've been studying with, watching YouTube videos, doing the Duolingo, and, I know some Spanish people in my community. So, I've been really getting up on my Spanish. And so when I went back the second time, I had a lot more success than I did the first. But I told my translator, I said, hey, listen, there's no way I'm going to be able to vet these girls in a minute. So I want you, if a girl expresses interest in me, I need you to write her number down, and I need you to write her ID down so that I can set her up on a date, right? Whether it's coffee, whether it's just a walk around the town, get her out to the river, just overlook the ocean or whatever. Just need some time, right? More than 30 seconds. And so by the end of the night, oh yeah, guess what? By the end of the night, I mean, there must have been about 15 or 20 women on my list. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, how I'm gonna get through this? How I'm gonna get through 20 women, 20 dates in 7 days, right? So that's 3 girls a day, okay? I can hit one up for breakfast. I can hit one up for lunch. I can hit one up for dinner. Oh my gosh, that's a task. That's a full-time job for a week. I mean, and that's how it was. It was so crazy. It was so overwhelming. But, this is all good though, right? Because, you go from the States where, I mean, you're hitting and missing like it ain't nothing. You're like literally shooting arrows in the dark right here in the States. And you might get a couple dates, a month, if that. And them are like duds. You know what I'm saying? Like super duds. And then you go from that to, my gosh, like women coming out of your ears. I mean, it was just a task, man. And it was all good though. And, had a really good time, was able to vet, those 20 women down to 3. And that's where the rubber hit the road, right? Because all 3 of the girls that I spent time with, the majority of my time, the last 2 days at least, because I condensed everything down to 5, vetting all those girls. Man, I'm telling you, it was tough. It was tough. And, I did vibe with one of the girls, like I told you guys. So, but let me get back on task though, because, so you're at your hotel room. The next thing, they help you out with is exchanging your money. And, don't carry around a lot of cash with you. I think I might have mentioned that in the video. Keep it locked up in your safe. But they'll help you with your cash. In case you guys don't know, I mean, I kept, that's like a 2. I mean, that's a 5, a 50. I don't keep nothing higher than 50 mil pesos in my pocket, which is, I think, about comparable to like a US $20, a US $20 bill. So you don't want to keep anything greater than that in your pocket. You don't want to be, somewhere paying for dinner or something and just whipping out 100 mil pesos in bills. Like, you don't want to do that. That's just going to bring too much attention to yourself. And they tell you that stuff, right? So I don't want to get into the logistics of traveling to Colombia, but, that's just some of the things that they're going to help you with. Again, the agency was super amazing. So, again, that website is loveme.com, and they do city tours all across the world. I mean, Southeast Asia, Europe, South America, which is pretty much their three major continents that they're doing tours in multiple cities in these continents, though, right? So, Southeast Asia, they're doing Thailand, Philippines, South America, they're doing your Mexicos, your Perus, your Colombias, even in Costa Rica, which is super cool because that's probably the most Americanized, from an economy standpoint, country in South or Central America. So, and they do that there. Now, the price at the time was pretty steep. Now, you might say, why would you pay that price? And you guys can go online and look at the prices. Why would you pay that price? Well, when you think in terms of never being outside the country, think in terms of safety, not knowing how to travel internationally. When you look at that price compared to all of the potential that you're getting, it's something that you were willing to do. And for myself and a lot of other guys, you're willing to do that. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I do pretty well for myself. I'm an average middle class earning worker, but I think I do well for myself. I don't have to want for anything. And so I had, some funds to contribute to that. And so I did, right? But now here's the unique thing about that. Having gone on that tour and experienced that and coming back to the States, and I met someone, I was comfortable with going back by myself because I knew the landscape. I knew what to expect. My Spanish was better. I knew more about the country. I felt the vibe of the people. And so I was super comfortable with going back by myself. And that's how I would imagine your military guys are, having been in the service and experienced different cultures and so on and so forth with their training. They're like, man, put me on the plane with my passport. I'm good. While I can't compare myself to them because I've never been in the military, I did go down there for a week. I was around the town, walking through the malls, in the coffee shops, in the stores, buying and selling, participating in the economy, and in the social events, learning about their culture. And when you get all of that, right, it puts to rest and put to bed a lot of fears that you might have because you've been locked up in the matrix your whole life. So would I do that again? Probably not, because, I'm super comfortable with meeting girls via a lot of different more avenues. And I'm comfortable with talking to them in a lot of different other vicinities now, especially when you got, your travel OGs reaching out to you, hitting you up, letting you know, hey, do it like this, young guy, do it like that. And so I'm in my skin now. I'm comfortable, right? I got my groove. So, I don't really need that service anymore. But there's a lot of first-time guys out there, just like I was. And, I would highly suggest you do that, because not only are you purchasing a service, but you're purchasing safety, you're purchasing organization, and you're purchasing, just comfortability of being in that foreign country. And you're in a community of other guys at your hotel room. You guys are going to eat breakfast together. You guys are typically going to go out on the town together, share taxis, so on and so forth. So it just gets you in that element, and it gets you comfortable with being outside of the matrix. And, if that costs, the price that they're asking you to pay, it's not bad to do it your first time. But once you graduate, right, and you have the experience that you need, some of the guys I still travel with, we traveled to Mexico since I've been in Colombia. We're looking at Brazil. We're talking about going to Thailand, right? So, the sky is the limit at this point because you have the experience, right? And as one guy always told me when I was younger, he said, always remember this: experience is the best teacher, but you got to get the experience, right? So there you have it, guys. The name of the website again is loveme.com. They were organization that hosted the social event, social/cultural event that, you know, introduced us to some of the local, you know, women that were looking for husbands, so on and so forth. So if you have any more questions, you know, definitely reach out, you know, hit me up in my DMs. Appreciate you watching the content. And, you know, there's going to be more to come because I'm probably going to be getting on the plane here in a couple of weeks. But if you would, please stay tuned to the video because I am working on another channel in regards to my real estate. And, you know, that's a passion of mine. I'm doing the travel videos, you know, for fun and to, you know, just kind of help other guys out that was once like me that didn't see travel outside the United States as a thing. But also, you know, I'm working on the other channel in regards to real estate, which I want to touch as many, you know, specifically people in my community as possible in regards to real estate and ownership, right? You don't have to be an investor like me, but if we can just get you to own that first property, it'll definitely change your life and definitely propel you forward and put you in a position that you've never ever been in financially. So stay tuned for that little commercial to kind of get you over to my other channel, and definitely subscribe and like that as well. Much love and peace and blessings. Thanks. If you're looking for ways to boost your income during your retirement years, head over to Real Estate Retirement for some proven and effective strategies to do so.